Welcome, this is Wardenal T, bringing you Game 3 of North Star. I'm gonna get some time here to finish up my battle reports for North Star here, so stay tuned. This is Game 3. We have High Elves versus Dwarves against Eric, who's a local guy. And we came up with the Game 3, which is Vanguard's meet. Pretty much just the Vanguard deployment. So the objectives in this game was to control both deploy for deployment. We roll for objectives, and I placed the first one. He placed the next one, and you need escort units with a full rank command model character next to that. And then there's also ambushers, so where we choose 2 units of our army as ambushers. We have to declare which ones are which. One must be a core and the other could be a special rare. For my core, I believe I had a Reaver unit. And for my special rare, it was an Eagle for my army. I'll mention it on his what he had. I believe it was one of his gyrocopters was one of them. I don't remember the other one, so maybe it will be in the pictures here. And the objective was to control both objectives as a major, or control more table quarters for the minor at the end of the game. So that's pretty much the overview of the game, and we'll kind of go off into deployment here. And here we are at deployment. This, as you can see, it's Vanguard. We got some Vanguard meeting, and then of course we got some Vanguard movements in there too. So we have a unit, my Dragon Princes were in the far left there, with the Phoenix Guard behind the woods, bolt thrower. And I had my Reavers between the Phoenix Guard and the bolt thrower. Unit of archers, and then on the other side of that center display mount terrain feature was another bolt thrower. There's my objective marker, which is a little dragon, and then a unit of silver helms. Oh, there's his objective marker by my Reavers up there. Some stone statue thing. And across in his deployment across there, you see his 2 organ guns there, and then a unit of let me get the list. Alright, where's his army list? Here we go. Yep. Okay, let's see here. That first big unit is, looks like there are to be the hammers. Where he has the BSB guy and one of the rudesmiths in the thing. And next to them is a cannon. And then there's his gun line of quarrelers. And then another cannon on the table edge there. That's his army as of now. And we'll go up. And of course you can see the Vanguard, my Vanguard's there with the Reavers. And then his gyrocopter got charged into my bolt thrower there on his first turn. And here we are up to my movement. I moved the Dragon Princes around the left side of the woods there, and the Phoenix Guard just kind of rotated to a wheel and march around to the right of the woods. And my Reavers, after his shooting, had gotten down to 2 guys. They're up along the rocks there, ready to charge the flank. My archers, they got shot down by his organ guns. And then on the right, of course, cannon shooting, knocking out each cannon, I believe, knocked out a silver helm. My bow thrower is still there. And let's see, pretty much turn 1. Oh, and for combat turn 1, there you see that he was able to kill one of my bolt thrower crewmen, and I wasn't able to get any wounds on him. And I believe, let's see, oh, this is, oh, I got turn 1 here on the right, kind of double imaged here. And by turn, oh, I thought I had turned some pictures on turn 2. Must not, because he's there on the left picture. You see turn 3, my Vanguard Reavers come in. Oh, he had his warriors as a ambusher unit, and they came in the rear there. Because I had, by turn 2 here and 3, I had charged my Dragon Princess up into 2 Organoids, killing one. And we're running that one into the next one, killing that. Finally into his hammers. And of course, after the combat and kills, he reforms his hammers facing my Dragon Princess. His bomber head came on the table, moved up to there. My Reaver archers had fled, I believe, after that killing, panicking, and finally regrouped, and I was behind my Phoenix card. Eagle comes up on the table and supports the Phoenix card. And here we go off to turn 4. And this must be turn 4 because he's moving up here. He wiped out my Dragon Prince unit. And my other Reavers, the last 2 Reavers are dead. And I moved up to my Eagle, but for on this turn, this is from this point on, kind of changes the game. If you would have just probably kept on shooting, you would have had a very good chance of getting a big victory. I was probably at this point, we were down to, if we would have ended it here, it would have been like, I think it came out like a 17-3, 18-2 victory for the Dwarves, but of course, he was saying here at the end of the game too, he got a little eager and started moving up his warriors there and his hammers up, moving them up to get into combat on the next following turns. There you can see his bomber had gone through and killed off one more of my archers. And then finally he got his must have been turn this here 3. He ended up like this. Turn 4, he was charged into my Phoenix Guard. We had combat. My noble here in the right image went up against his runesmith. I killed that guy off. Then I believe the next images are coming up for the rest of the battle. And yep, his bomber finally took up. Oh, my archers moved into the building. Bomber pursued up and charged to the rear of the Phoenix Guard. And his warriors wiped out the Reavers. So this is probably around turn 5 here. Of course, I was doing some magic stuff. I finally got a wound on my guy. So you can see in the left images on his round of combat, that's how many he had, about 13 guys there. By the time my combat came, he had 5 or 6 there. His warriors had wiped out my Reavers, so they're still there. They haven't rallied or moved yet. So I was taking on his hammers and of course battling his copter, killing a couple of my guys, but then I was getting rolls of his. And then of course here you can see I finally got a wound on the right image there of a wound on my noble. So we go into turn 5. And here's turn 5, just before 6 there, you can see the dice kind of 6. His bomber had fled and is fleeing off after combat. I wiped out the rest of his hammers and do a combat reform to get onto his dwarf warriors, because they did a reform on their start of their turn. So on my turn, I had won the combat and formed that way to get ready for the round 6, and that's what this right image is. On turn 6, his bomber flees off the table, or yep. Then he charges his warriors into my Phoenix Guard, and this is where the Phoenix Guard stepped up. So as you can see coming up, and here we are after combat. I get about, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or so of his warriors. They are not stubborn or anything, so they panic, and they fail their leadership. And I believe I killed the BSB too by this point, because the BSB was in the hammer unit that the Phoenix Guard wiped out, so he wasn't able to reroll his dice. He got a few of my guys. You can see there in the back. I'm down to 2 ranks, and so he rolls on his dice for flee. He flees 3 inches there, as you can see. And then my dice, I pursue, and look what I get. 4 inches. So I got him by 1 inch. And there's, on the image on the right, you can see his unit is gone now. And I have 2 files of Phoenix Guard. And that's about it for this image. Magic, I was pretty well getting off on my magic phases to get the Phoenix Guard ward saves down to 3. So that helped out also. And we'll go off to the next images. Oh, I guess I don't have an overview image of the battlefield. But otherwise, once that is ended, he kind of, like I said, he commented before he shouldn't have sent those units in, but my Phoenix Guard stepped up to the job, took out those 2 units, which definitely helped me from getting only 1 or 2 points for this matchup to getting almost pretty much a draw, or pretty much what is a draw, 10 to 10, 11 to 9. It's kind of considered a draw, so he still had a little bit more points than me. Therefore he had 11 and I had 9. And that was round 3 of game 3 of day 1, giving me pretty good points at, let's see, 9, 18, 24 points total. And I want to say these, like I was going to mention, I don't know if, pretty much mentioned somewhere else in the other image, but up to this point, not only in my games, we're getting pretty much draws and nothing really big combat losses or victories, but it seemed like everybody else was pretty much in the same situation, and the whole tournament seemed this way compared to last year, where people were getting major victories and whatnot, and big wide spreads between first, second, third kind of places like that within each army and race and overall. But so, and from talking to other people, it just kind of seemed like that's the way this year's going, is everybody's getting pretty much the same draws, or 1 major victory or 1 major loss. Well, that sounds good so far, so we'll see how the next 2 go. So thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy.